All right, we're going to start this problem, and I've already added some annotations to it, but it's basically a Venn diagram problem. A local television station sent out questionnaires to determine if viewers would rather see a documentary, an interview show, or reruns of a game show. There were 650 responses with the following results. 195 were interested in an interview show and a documentary, but not reruns. 26 were interested in an interview show and reruns, but not a documentary. 91 were interested in reruns, but not an interview show. 156 were interested in an interview show but not a documentary. 65 were interested in a documentary and reruns, and 39 were interested in an interview show and reruns. 52 were interested in none of these. Now, what I'm going to do is understand that U is our universal set, and that's going to be a collection of every element in the discussion. Okay? And as indicated right here, 650 is the total for our universal set. I went ahead and assigned the red letter D to the red circle for documentary. I assigned the red letter I to the blue circle, the blue letter I to the blue circle for interview show, and the purple letter G to the purple circle for reruns of a game show. And then I went ahead and I divided these things up into regions. I know that there are going to be 8 regions, and I've labeled them such. Here's region number 1, region 2, region 3, region 4, region 5, region 6. Over here is region 7, and this is region 8. And I'm going to start at the bottom of this list, and we're going to go up. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to look and see how these regions work together. First off, 52 were interested in none of the 3. That means that this big outside region is going to have 52 responses in it, and that's what I have right here for this particular region. That's going to be everything that's in gray on the outside. And this is going to be region 1, so I'm just going to label it as region 1. 39 were interested in an interview show and reruns. 39 are interested in an interview show, which is the blue circle, and reruns of game shows, which is the purple circle, which means that regions 2 and 4 together make up 39, and that's what I have right here in this second Venn diagram. We'll look at this blue region, and it's 39. And that's the sum of regions 2 and 4, so I'm going to put that right here, 2 plus 4. 65 were interested in a documentary and reruns. That's going to be everything that's in the red circle and everything that's in the purple circle where they overlap, which is going to be this football-shaped slice here, which is going to be the sum of what's in region 2 and the sum of what's in region 5. So I'm going to have 2 plus 5. And let me show you in Venn diagram number 3 right here what that looks like. And that's this area right here, and there's 65 people in that particular region. So like I said, that's the sum of regions 2 and 5. Now we're going to look at this one. 156 were interested in an interview show, but not a documentary. So interviews is going to be everything in the blue here, but not in the documentary because they're not interested. So that means that I'm going to have to exclude section 2 and 3 when I look at this. So let's scroll down, and we're going to look at Venn diagram number 4. And notice that right in here, in regions 4 and 7, I have 156 people. And that's going to be everybody that's interested in an interview show, but not in a documentary. So that's the sum of regions 4 and 7. So that's 4 plus 7. Okay. Next, we're going to look at 91 were interested in reruns, but not an interview show. So reruns is everything in the purple, okay, but not an interview show. So that's going to be exclusionary. So we're looking at the sum of sections 5 and 8, and that's in this Venn diagram number 5. And there's 91 people that are accounted for in this area. So let's scroll back up a little bit, and let me go ahead and just write down the fact that it's the sum of regions 5 and 8. Then we have 26 were interested in an interview show and reruns, but not in a documentary. So that means they're interested in everything that's in the interview show, and everything that's in a documentary. So that's going to be the intersection of the red circle and the blue circle, but we're going to have to forget about the part where they're interested in reruns because they're not. So what we're looking at is simply region number 3. And let me show you that in another diagram. Down here, we look at, I apologize for that, I misstated. It's 26 we're interested in an interview show and reruns, but not a documentary. So that's section 4 right here. Interview show is everything in the blue. Reruns are in the purple, but not documentary, so we'll exclude everything in red. And let's go ahead and look at that. And that's this section 4 right here. Okay? And then the last thing that we're going to look at is the fact that 195 are interested in an interview show and a documentary, but not reruns. Interview show is the blue, documentary is the red. We're looking at the intersection of those, but then we're going to have to discount anything that's in the purple circle, so we're looking at simply region 3. So let me show you what that is going to look like down here. Okay. We'll scroll down, and we're looking at 195 right here. Now, how do I begin to put all this stuff together? Okay. Well, the thing is I've got all of these separated out. Okay. I already know that region 3 has 195 people in it. Okay. I also know that region 4 has 26 people in it. And then I'm going to be looking at, now I'm going to go ahead and start to look at how some of these circles intersect. Notice that we know what region 3 is and what region 4 is. It would be nice to know what region 2 is and what region 5 is. So let's scroll back up just a little bit and we'll look at this. We notice that region 5 and region 8 has a sum of 91. Right now that doesn't really help me. I also note that region 4 and region 7 together has 156. I also note that region 5 and region 2 have 65 people in it. That doesn't help yet, but what I do notice right here is the fact that the sum of region 2 and region 4 is 39. Now, keep that in mind as I scroll back down. That means that the sum of region 2 and region 4 is 39. So if I take 39 and I subtract 26 from it, I'm going to get 13, which means that I can put 13 right here because the sum of 2 and 4 has to be 39. Well, that gives me some information to put. I can put a number in region 5 because if we scroll back up and look at region 5 and 2, we note that there are 65 in the sum of those two. So let's go back down and let's look at what we're looking at here. All right, there's 13 people in this region, but total between 2 and 5, there's 65 people. So that means if I take 65 and I subtract 13, I'm going to have 52 people. And I can go ahead and put 52 in there. Now I'm starting to really develop numbers. And if I go back up, I can remember that regions 5 and 8 sum to 91. As you can see that in Venn diagram 5. So we're going to come back down here, and we're going to take 91, and we're going to subtract 52 from that. When I subtract 52 from that, I'm going to get the number for in here in region 8. So when I go ahead and subtract that, I get 39. So I put 39 in here. Now remember that we also had a sum for regions 4 and 7. And let's go back up and look at that. Regions 4 and 7 were 156 people. So we'll scroll back down. We're going to look at that and say, okay, 4 and 7 are 156, but there's 26 here in region 4. So we'll take 156 and we're going to subtract 26. which is going to give me 130 people. And we're going to put that number in there. Now, the only thing that we're missing is region number 6. Now, if you remember, and we'll scroll back up, you're not going to see anywhere where region 6 is highlighted specifically. But if you look, note that, or remember, that 650 is our total number of respondents. Okay, so let's scroll back down. And note that I have numbers in every region now. Region 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, and 8. And I'm going to add all those numbers together, and I will subtract from 650 to get what's in region number 6. So I've gone ahead and written it out as 650 minus the sum of the 7 regions that I have. And when I do that, I end up with 143. So now I can go ahead and put in my number here. And if I add all 8 regions, they will sum to 650. And now I can go ahead and accurately answer the questions. Okay, one of the questions was, so the question is, how many are interested in exactly one kind of show? In order to answer that, I need to look at the fact that this number here is interested in only one kind of show. This number here is interested in one kind of show. And this number here is interested in one kind of show. So I'll add those numbers together. I'll have 143 plus 130 plus 39. And I end up with 312. And that would be this answer right here.